Is it recording?
It is.
Okay, that's scary. Okay. Well, hi guys. Welcome to the first episode of my podcast. Basically the premise for this is that we're going to discuss various movies and the women in those films and how the women are portrayed and like what it means to be a woman in that film and if it is a good representation of womanhood and being a woman in general. So today we're here with Ashlyn Sheehy.
Hello.
With my friend. She is a gender studies minor, which is what makes her qualified to talk on this, if you were curious. And we're talking about her favorite movie. Ashlyn, do you want to introduce it and give some background on the film, maybe?
Yeah, today we're talking about The Social Network. It's the story of how Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook and his like early college years of the websites he started before Facebook and how Facebook came to be and like the lawsuits that followed with like his friend that was kind of part of it that he like stole money from and all that stuff. Basically,
Andrew Garfield's in this movie.
Yes, Andrew Garfield is the friend, Eduardo.
The first time I watched this movie was my senior year of high school. After watching Tick, Tick, Boom. It was like right after Tick, Tick, Boom had come out.
Yeah.
And I was really into Andrew Garfield. And that scene where he is going to the party in California, but they leave him out in the rain.
Yeah.
I literally cried.
That's so fair.
Like, I cried so much. And then I went to school the next day and I told my friend about it. And she was like, you cried at The Social Network? What's wrong with you?
He's so mean to him.
He's so mean to him. It's so unjustified.
And Andrew Garfield's one of my favorite actors in general.
I know, and he's really cute.
And he is really cute.
Really cute.
And I think he was really good in The Social Network. And like me
He
and my
was.
friends always quote his like lawyer up asshole like, kind of whole bit.
What's that thing he says with the laptop?
With the laptop?
In the scene where he's mad at Mark Zuckerberg and he's slams the laptop. And
Oh, he says like, sorry, my Prado is at the
Yeah.
cleaners, along with my hoodie and my fuck you flip-flops, you pretentious douchebag.
Yeah. We used to quote that all the time.
Yeah, same. It's
That's
a
just
great
like so
scene.
iconic. Okay.
And it's so funny. Like the
So
it's
funny.
Such a
The
funny
delivery
wording.
of it
Yeah.
is like crazy.
And he's and like Mark's just like looking at him, who's played by Jesse Eisenberg. If people don't know that, the people listening.
That. Jesse Eisenberg from Zombieland.
Yes,
Seen that?
I love
Not
Zombieland.
relevant, but
Not relevant, but I do love
it's a really
Zombieland.
good movie.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the second one.
I watched half of the first one, and then my brother texted me like that night, "Do you want to come watch a movie with me?" And I was like, "This is really awkward." Like I'm already watching a movie, so I went to go watch. I think we watched Lamb.
I don't
That
think
night.
I've seen that.
It's boring.
Oh, okay.
It's about this like Norwegian couple who the man sleeps with a sheep.
Oh,
And then the sheep gives birth to like a half human, half sheep kid. And then they raise her like their own. But you don't find out that the kid is like half human, half sheep until halfway through the movie. In fact, the first half of the movie, they don't speak English.
it's not visible that she's half human,
They
half
kind of
sheep.
hide her.
Oh,
She's like wrapped in blankets because she's a tiny baby.
Got it.
And the first half of the movie, they don't even like show anything. It's just these people taking care of their sheep farm.
That's so
And it's like,
weird.
this is so boring. And they don't speak English, and they barely speak at all.
Right.
So
That's
it's-
so interesting.
But questionable movie. I mean, like, it has its merits,
No, yeah, I'm sure.
but
Well, anyway, Social Network.
so not relevant. Okay, Social
Not
Network.
Lamb.
So we're talking about the girls in this. The first girl in the movie is in the first scene, so
Yes,
that's something.
That is true. And she's kind of one of the couple women that are like shown in like an intelligent way.
Yeah.
Erica, his girlfriend.
I think she's generally portrayed well.
She is. I agree. I like her
Erica.
character. I think that it's cool how
She's also one of the few that gets a name,
yes.
like a real name.
and like a name that's like mentioned more than once. Like she's
Yeah.
like referred to specifically. And I think it's like she's kind of the like character who isn't scared to like tell Mark to his face that he's like an asshole. I literally wrote one of my favorite quotes that she says to him when they're breaking up is, "You're probably going to be a very successful computer person, but you're going to go through life thinking that girls don't like you because you're a nerd. And I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that won't be true. It'll be because you're an asshole."
I know that really stuck with me when I was watching it earlier because I
Yeah.
watched it to catch up for the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, and that line was really good. I was like, wow, yes, Erica, tell him. And you know that he did not take that.
Yeah.
He, like, I really did like Mark Zuckerberg for a while. Like, as a real guy. He was, like, just interesting to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he does love his wife in real life now.
Yeah.
He's, like, really dedicated
Yeah, he
to
was
his
also
wife.
he was also a college student. He was
Yeah.
like an idiot, like 19-year-old or something when he was like being an asshole to his girlfriend. Like he, not that that's excusable, but it's like he did, I'm sure, grow up and mature.
Yeah.
from a college
I
student.
do still think he's probably misogynistic and he's so evil.
Yeah,
as
no,
all
exactly.
billionaires are.
Like in the
But
sense
he
of the
does
fact that he's a
love his
billionaire.
wife. Did you see a couple of years back when he made like literally a statue of his wife, got a statue commissioned of his wife to put in their backyard?
That's crazy.
Because he just
I
thinks
didn't
she's
see
so
that.
beautiful and like loves her so much.
Oh,
Isn't that kind of lovely?
that is kind of lovely.
I mean, I
yeah.
think he's evil, but I think that was like the one lovely thing he
You
did.
can do evil things and still like occasionally do some good, cute things in your personal life.
Yeah, that's true. So that's my Mark Zuckerberg opinion on his thoughts on women, if you were curious about that.
His out of movie thoughts on women.
But his in-movie thoughts on women are insane.
yeah, because that's one of the reasons that
So-
she breaks up with him too.
Yeah,
He's
because
not respecting her or other women.
No, not even a little bit. He's like so awful to her. That whole conversation was like painful to watch from what he was saying to her, like the misogynistic things when he tells her like, "Oh, you can come with me to my what are they even called? The clubs he likes."
Oh,
What's the word?
I don't
What was
remember
the word?
either.
But he was
it's
like, "You can
those
come with me into these
prestigious-
clubs because
He's
it'll
trying
be
to
like
get into the Phoenix Club,
Yeah.
and it's like the prestigious like club at Harvard or whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, you can come with me."
because it's an opportunity for you to meet people that you wouldn't meet in your everyday life." And she's like, "What do you mean?" And then he's like, "Well, you sleep with the doorman. That's how we're here." And she's like, "No, he's my friend."
Yeah,
And that's like that's just crazy that he would even say that to her. That you would ever think that was like okay to say to a person, let alone the woman you're dating.
yeah, like let alone your girlfriend who you're supposed to like love. And it was very like that whole conversation is just him like diminishing her intelligence, and like I think she even says to him like, "Oh, you don't think I could get into something like that on my own, or you don't think that I could like meet these smart people on my own?" Like, and he's just insinuating the whole time that the only way she's gonna meet smart people in her field is like through him and his prestigious like smart person club.
Yeah. Because then he's like, "Oh, you want to be you." Like,
Yeah,
which Boston University isn't even like a bad school.
no, not at
It's
all.
generally pretty well acclaimed. Like,
It's like one people try and get into in the sense of like, I mean, Boston College is harder to get into than Boston University, but like,
it's
Boston
not
University
Harvard, but
is typically
Boston College is scary.
yeah,
you
it's
ever been
typically
there?
no,
It's freaky.
but I've like heard things, and it's typically seen as a very like academically difficult school as
yeah.
well.
Well, all those schools like in Boston would be because they're literally in the city. Like,
Yeah,
I thought that was so annoying when he said that to her.
yeah, no, I agree. And then like later on, really until there's another character that I won't mention yet, but like at like toward the
We'll get
end,
there.
but like
We'll get there.
until the end, really the other women that are shown are kind of where we get into like the these women are just being shown as like
It's like props.
as like a
They're-
trophy.
yeah. Or like as a plot device.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women in this film because a lot of it is about Mark Zuckerberg's disdain for women and
Right.
like his disregard for them and just not caring about them as people.
Mm-hmm.
But none of these women are ever like named.
Right.
And it's obvious that the film is trying to say something about like disrespecting women and not respecting them as people and like seeing them as objects more than as people. But then the film doesn't really like work on that. Like it doesn't make us think that these women are people.
Right.
It's not utilizing them. Like it's trying to say you should respect women as people, but then not demonstrating that, which I think is a fault on the film's part.
Yeah.
I understand what they were going for, but I think we could have had more like relevant female characters in the film if you're going to be making such a strong point about you shouldn't be cruel to women.
Right. And it's sort of like it kind of also goes into the fact that this is like based on a true story, and it does stay pretty accurate to like the actual case that happened. So like obviously it's showing them being horrible people to these women because in real life they were being horrible people to these women. But like it's sort of a thing. I saw something online earlier where someone made like a comment on a Reddit post, and they were trying to insinuate that the girls that like hook up with them at the party, and one of them was played by Brenda Song, but I don't remember who the other one's played by.
Brenda Song from The Quarry.
Yes, true. Brenda Song from The Quarry. That's all she's from. The only other thing.
Yeah, just
Social
The
Network
Quarry.
and The Quarry.
That's her acting credits.
Yeah, that's her IMDb. The whole thing.
That's all.
But like those two girls that kind of like hook up with them, and they're sort of just like, wow, these hot girls hooked up with us and we're nerds, and like they like hooked up with us in a club bathroom stall or whatever, like kind of like seedy, like kind of like gross like energy or whatever. Like they this guy on Reddit tried to make this point of them almost being as bad as the men in the sense of like, oh well, like no quote unquote like self-respecting women were like portrayed in the movie because no self-respecting women in real life existed in this situation. Like they were trying to insinuate that
that's
because
crazy.
they hooked up with them, they only hooked up with them, like kind of like a gold digger thing. Like they were trying to be like, oh, they knew these men were like becoming successful and having money and all this stuff, but I'm pretty sure the girls hooked up with them before they were rich because of Facebook.
They had
like,
girlfriends. Also, they weren't rich yet. Like,
No,
they
exactly.
had just made Facebook, but they
Yeah.
weren't rich. And it's like, yeah, it's impressive that you're hooking up with the guy who, like, made this whole thing that's, like,
Right, like, that's-
totally
yeah,
blowing
it's
up right now.
cool,
But
but,
also,
like-
like, you're still self-respecting just for hooking up with someone doesn't mean you don't respect yourself. Especially when they're rich and
Exactly.
famous. I feel like I'd respect myself more
Yeah.
if I were to hook up with someone who was on the road to being famous. Because
No,
then
exactly.
it's like, yeah, and like, I mean, like, I had sex with him.
Right.
And he's a billionaire now.
Yeah. And like that's kind of cool. But then it also like, even if they were kind of doing this gold digger thing, that does not nearly make them as bad as
No, not
like,
nearly.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Because
and
we
Sean
haven't even
Parker in
touched
this
into
movie.
the first half of the movie where they do the friggin' face.
Right, Face Smash. And that was a real website. Mark
Yeah.
Zuckerberg admitted like to it like
That's
later on
crazy.
after the Social Network. Like he was like, yeah, I made this horrible sexist website where like you rated
Well, did he
women.
call it horrible and sexist? Or
I'm
did
pretty
he?
sure he admitted that it was bad. Like
Good for him.
I'm pretty sure like
He really
I'm-
is growing.
Like I think he was like, yeah, no, I admit I
Look at
made this
Mark
thing and it was
Zuckerberg.
bad. Like it shouldn't have been like rating women on their hotness. And I saw someone try and make a comment about like, oh, they really fictionalized it in the movie because in real life it was both men and women, and that's not true. That is, I fact checked that earlier because I was almost going to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
That is not correct. It was in fact solely made to rate women on their attractiveness through like
Yeah.
the Harvard database.
Okay, well, let me explain. Because if you haven't seen the movie, then this is probably really confusing.
True.
But in the movie, after Erica, and in real life, like this is a movie
Yeah,
based
like
on
this
a real life
happened.
story. After, I have to cough. Hold on. My bad. After Erica breaks up with Mark Zuckerberg, he goes home and in a drunken rage hacks into the Facebooks, which were like a real thing, like not the social network. It was like what schools had
Yeah.
to like keep lists.
It was
of
like
their
the
students.
database of the students were called like the Facebooks, or like the
Facebooks.
books of like these students' pictures and like
and it had like
names.
all their ID pictures and like all that. So he hacks into the pictures of all of these people from like I don't know if it was surrounding schools or surrounding like houses,
I
like
think it was surrounding.
because they said houses
Maybe
in
it
the
was-
film, but I thought it was schools.
They might have meant like dorm houses of the school.
Oh, maybe that might have been what they meant. I don't know. I was getting confused. I was like, I don't entirely know.
No, I was always confused at the beginning part if they were just at that one school or if it was surrounding.
I think it
schools or
was
who
just
was.
at Harvard.
I think it was.
But
I think it was
couldn't have been-
Harvard girls.
No, it couldn't have been because she went to BU, so it had to be surrounding schools
Yeah,
because she was in there.
I guess maybe he started with Harvard and then got into other schools' databases or something.
Yeah, or maybe she wasn't in there, and it was just that they saw the blog post about her.
Maybe.
don't
Guys,
know.
I've seen
This
this
was
movie like
confusing.
4 times. It's crazy how I forget things with the
I watched
microphone in
this
front of me.
literally an hour before, so I mean, I know also I've seen it before, and I never really knew. But
Yeah.
anyway, he hacks into these things and gets all of these girls' pictures, and then he makes this website where it shows you 2 girls, and you pick left or right which one's hotter, and you like rank them on hotness, and obviously that's terrible, and it got 22,000 hits in that one night and crashed Harvard servers at 4 in the morning
Yeah.
in 2009,
Some 2000. I feel like it was 2008,
2008.
but I might be wrong. But
2000
like
something early.
early
No, I think it was
2000s.
like earlier than that.
it might have
I
been.
think it was like 2003.
Yeah, you might be right because I think there were people that joined Facebook that weren't mentioned because it was later on in like 2008 or 2009.
I think it was like 2003 because I think Facebook started in 2009.
Yeah, that might be right. But it was like basically just ranking women on their attractiveness, and it got like I believe it did in fact in real life like the quickness at which it spread was not really exaggerated in the movie. I don't think it did in fact spread that quick overnight. And
It was
just
one
like,
night. He like made it. He got home from his date with Erica where she broke up with him and immediately made this website. And then that same night it crashed Harvard servers because it got 22,000 clicks.
Yeah. And
Like,
it was
that's
people just like shared it with their friends. and
Crazy.
Just a bunch of guys sharing it with their friends of like, oh, rank these women.
Like that's so bizarre.
It's so odd. And obviously like I get he was drunk, but like did he not think that these girls were gonna see this?
I mean, I imagine he did and he just didn't care.
Yeah, I think
Like-
he didn't care. He was just like smashing beers
And he
in
made
his
this like
bedroom.
blog post about Erica where he was like, yeah, actually she's not a C cup, she's a B cup, which
Yeah.
means barely there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. And then when the guy, after that, they're like playing the face match thing. Well, no. Erica's roommate is reading the blog. And Erica's like laying on her bed. And her roommate's like, you don't want to read this. He blogged about you. And then these guys come in and they're like, Erica, is this your bra? We stole it from, and then they use the T slur.
I forgot about
And
that.
it's like, oh my God, how could you ever think to say that to a person? Like, I understand it's 2003 and, like, times have changed, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially because she didn't do anything wrong.
No, and they literally just are making fun of her through her, like, open dorm room door. And that scene's always so devastating to me because it cuts to the guys holding the bra and they say that, and then it cuts back to her and she's sitting there in her bed and she looks angry, but at the same time her eyes are, like, tearing up.
I know.
And it's
so
like
sad.
so devastating. It's like I just can't imagine sitting in my room in, like, my safe space and, like, all of a sudden this guy says this thing about you online and now you have just, like, hordes of men, like, publicly making fun of you.
Especially because it's not even that bad. Like, she's
like,
wearing
oh no, her boobs
a
are a
C-cup
cup
bra.
size. Yeah, like, what?
Like, it's not even like she's an A cup.
No.
Which, like, wouldn't be
fine,
relevant
which,
anyway.
yeah,
Like,
no.
it's fine to be an A cup, but, like,
No, yeah. But it's not like he said some, like, I don't know, he didn't make some, it wasn't right to say anyway, but he didn't make some crazy claim that she was, like, 5 cup sizes different or
Exactly.
something. Like, also, B being barely there is crazy to say. That
I know,
is
because it's
absolutely
like
not
a
true.
normal boob size.
It's, like, not even small.
Like, I almost didn't even understand that because I was like, how is this relevant?
It's not even
Like, she's wearing a C-cup bra. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he really, I think, just wanted her to feel shitty because she made him feel shitty.
Yeah, and I understand that. But also, I feel like he could have said worse.
He
like, I'm
definitely could have
surprised
said
that's, like,
worse.
not... Like, that was the thing that people read and then stuck with. And then we're like, oh my God, your bra's a size smaller than you say it is.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
I mean, I guess, like you said, it was also early 2000s. Maybe it was, like, different in the sense that more people were, like, really caught up on stuff like that. Like, maybe boys would make fun of it more.
Maybe this
at
is
the
like a
time.
cultural divide that we're not understanding because we
Yeah.
were, like, born in 2000. You were born in 2004.
Yeah.
So,
Because I feel like a lot of people now, there's a bit more of, like, in, like, the women being attractive like field, there's, like,
that's really funny.
there's more of, like, the idea of, like, any boobs are good boobs, like,
Yeah.
size wise. So I feel like I hear less of, like, well, her boobs are a B. Like, I feel like I hear like that being an insult way less.
Also,
Maybe
it's
it was
really
just the
interesting that was, like, what they were caught up on because they also, like, were so against fat women in
Yeah.
that era. Also, I thought it was crazy when they were going through that face match thing, and all of those girls were attractive.
Yes.
Like, there wasn't a single girl who wasn't conventionally attractive when they were showing, like, the shots of the face match.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they showed, like, a screen playing the game, it would be, like, 2 actually, like, conventionally attractive girls. There was never, like,
typically
a
seen as
quote-unquote
attractive.
ugly girl. I mean, you can't see my fingers when I do a podcast, so I feel like I'm, like...
That's why earlier I said quote unquote out loud because
Yeah.
I was doing the fingers and then realized that no one can see me. I wrote quote unquote in my notes
That's good. You're
because
prepared.
I knew that I was gonna, like, forget to say that.
But yeah, it was like I don't even know how they manage that. How are there no ugly girls going to Harvard?
I mean, honestly, for the movie, they probably just picked a bunch of conventionally attractive women to put as the pictures.
Yeah, okay, good point. But still, like, and then there's something to be said there because then they're looking at these 2 conventionally attractive girls and then picking which one is uglier, but they're equal in attractiveness.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say that. That's kind of evil, but, like, you know what I
No,
mean?
I know
like,
what you mean, though. They're, like, portraying it in a way. It's almost like, oh, this movie is trying to portray something where these guys are, like, claiming one girl is more attractive than the other, but they're also, like, doing this Hollywood thing of only using conventionally attractive women
Yeah,
in media.
I almost wish that they had brought
like,
some
it's conventionally unattractive.
less conventionally attractive girls to be in the face match thing because I think they could have gotten their point across if they had shown conventionally unattractive girls and, like, what these boys would say about them.
Right. Yeah.
Like, obviously, I'm not, like, interested in seeing what they say about conventionally unattractive girls. That's not interesting to
Yeah.
me. But I think it would have helped the movie make its point that they were being so cruel to these girls. And, like, it did make its point when you're looking at 2 conventionally attractive girls and being like, this one's so much uglier. Like, oh my God,
Right.
click the left.
yeah.
But
And it's just like she's blonde and not brunette. I don't even know. Like,
Right,
it's just
like-
some, like, stupid difference. And the way that they were reacting to some of them too is insane. Like the way
Oh,
that, like,
yeah.
they would pop and they'd be like, "Ew,"
and it would just be a girl with, like, a slightly larger nose.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, she's hideous.
she has, like, short hair. I don't know.
It's like, okay, whatever.
Like, cool guys, I guess. There was, again, a Reddit post. It was the Reddit post that the comment was on earlier, but the headline to the post has been archived since then, so, like, you can't read the whole thing. But I guess Stephen Colbert talked about The Social Network once on, like, his show. I'm assuming probably close to when it came out, and he actually, like, immediately questioned, like, the, like, female characters aspect of it and stuff,
Yeah.
which is cool. And so
That is cool because he's
Yeah.
like a man.
yeah, and that was,
So-
like, the second thing that he asked, I guess. And the headline said, Stephen Colbert was right that women in the social network, doting groupies, vengeful sluts, or dumpy feminist killjoys are used as props.
Yeah.
And that's, like, I feel like just really accurate
It makes
to the way
me
that
think
they're portrayed.
of that Laura Mulvey article that I love so deeply where she coins the phrase of the male gaze. And, like, how women are often portrayed as props in these films for, like, to be attained by men.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read that. It's
haven't.
really
That's
so worth
interesting,
it. I can send you a link at some point.
Totally.
It's so good. Laura Mulvey is, like, such an inspiration.
That actually does really go into, though, like, another woman in the show, or in the movie, the one that hooks up with Sean Parker, the, like, guy who made that music website that ends up, like, co-creating
Justin Timberlake.
Facebook. Yeah, the one that Justin Timberlake plays. There's a girl, I think, that, like, Dakota Johnson plays, I'm pretty sure.
Star-studded cast in this thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, big actors in this cast, but she, like, really only appears, like, once, and it's because the first time we see Sean Parker is, like, he has just hooked up with this girl, and then she's, like, talking about Sean Parker, like, creating this thing, and he's like, yeah, that's me. So, like, the whole thing is just like, wow, I hooked up with this guy that made this thing. And then the reason that he finds out about Facebook is because she just, like, is like, can I log onto my Facebook on your laptop or something? Like, she logs into her Facebook, and, like, he's like, what's that? And, like, I don't know, she tells him or whatever. And I literally don't think she's seen in the movie after that. Like, I think her whole character is that she hooked up with this, like, man, and then shows him Facebook, and that's how he finds out.
She literally exists just to show how cool Justin Timberlake's character is.
Right, that he, like, hooks up with this pretty girl.
Look, he hooks up with hot girls on the reg.
Yeah.
Like, she's so excited to hook up with him. Like,
yeah, like, that's, like, really the only, like, reason she's there. And even the other girls, like, they do appear throughout the movie, but almost always not speaking, and almost always just, like, being arm candy for even Eduardo, who's, like, who's
less misogynistic, but definitely still misogynistic. Like, he did help make Face Mash.
Yes,
that was, like, he was, like, apprehensive about it, but he still did help.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people talk about, when they talk about Eduardo in that way, they talk about it like he is just a victim of Mark Zuckerberg, when that's just not true, because, like, they were friends.
Yes,
and there are a lot of comments that Eduardo makes about women in this film that make me go, I'm gonna get a phone call.
Sarah's phone ringing.
That make me go, oh, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Because there's, like, at the beginning, well, not exactly at the beginning, but there's, like, this one part where he's like, Mark, why do you keep making it so that every girl at the school hates us? And it's like, okay, so you're your own person,
right,
though.
so stop, like
stop associating with him. If you know that he's being a misogynistic asshole,
right,
why are you still with him like that? Like, why are you still best friends with him?
If you don't want people to view you that way, and you're upset that people are viewing you that way because you're doing these things with him, then why are you doing them?
Exactly. Like, act differently then. Like, you are not his slave. You can go be your own person, Eduardo.
Right. Like, he's definitely a victim in the sense of, like, the money and the selfishness of Mark Zuckerberg. Like, Eduardo, this wouldn't have happened without Eduardo, and he, like, shut him fully out and, like, took away
and
all
that
of,
sucks.
Like, the money
that really does.
That's horrible, and that is what the court case in the movie, like, is about, and how it was in real life is, like, Eduardo was trying to essentially get this money back and get his name back on Facebook because, like, Sean Parker and Mark Zuckerberg, like, removed his name from being, like, a founder of Facebook,
which is so not fair.
Which is crazy because it wouldn't have happened without him, and, like, it's just kind of devastating, like, how the fact that he, like, did so much for Mark Zuckerberg, first of all, and then, like, he just shut him out like that. He really is a victim in that, but that doesn't mean
he's a victim monetarily, but he's not a victim in a misogynistic sense.
Yeah, no, exactly. Another woman, our actual, like, other intelligently portrayed woman, is the lawyer, or she might be, like, not fully a lawyer.
I don't think she's quite a lawyer. I think she's, like, an assistant lawyer.
I forget. There's, like, a specific word for that.
I don't know the word,
and I don't remember what it is, but she's, like, on her way to becoming a lawyer, like, almost like a student lawyer when they're still, like, in on court cases and stuff, like, with a main lawyer.
What's that actress's name? She's the one from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, and she's in The Office. She plays Karen in The Office.
What's her?
It's like
Pam in Parks and Rec?
Rashida Jones. Is her actress's name.
She's so beautiful.
Yes, she
not
is.
relevant.
Not relevant, but she is
so beautiful.
But she plays the lawyer, Marilyn Delpy, who she kind of closes out the movie. Like, it's her.
Wait,
Mark
for some
Zuckerberg.
Context, the movie takes place, by the way, it's a court hearing, and all of the, like, scenes about, like, Mark Zuckerberg's college are, like, seen as flashbacks.
Yeah, basically.
Of, like, testimonies during the court hearing.
Yeah, like throughout the whole movie, they're in different courtroom
The
settings.
setting of the movie is that it's a lawsuit
Yes.
against Mark Zuckerberg by both Eduardo and those boys.
And those twins that are played by
Twins.
Armie Hammer.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can never tell when they have two characters, like one actor playing two twins. I can literally never tell.
Because Mark Zuckerberg said that he would help them build. They basically had the idea for
They
Facebook.
came up with Facebook.
And he was like, yeah, I'll help you make it. And then he realized he could, like, quote unquote make it better. And like did it instead, and then kind of like claimed that like he didn't do anything wrong, and they were trying to sue him for like taking their idea essentially, but like he was trying to almost prove that like they couldn't prove that it was their idea, and that was like a whole thing. But like the whole movie is like there'll be scenes, and then at the end of the scene it'll cut to like the courtroom case, and maybe the lawyer will be like, oh, so blah 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 is what happened, and then they'll be like,
And then Mark will be like, no, I don't see how that's relevant.
yeah, basically.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah, basically, like, genuinely, basically all of the lawyer scenes, but
And it's so annoying. It's like, oh my God, you're
Yeah.
in court right now.
he does
Have some
not
decorum.
cooperate. He does not like to cooperate. You can almost tell that he looks like, at some points, embarrassed in the sense of like not really fully knowing what to say, so he just is an asshole.
I think
because
it's
that's all he knows.
also
what to do.
relevant that the lawyer working against him is a woman.
Yeah,
For the majority
Yes.
of the film, the lawyer for Eduardo and the two twins like is a woman speaking to Mark about these things that he did. And you almost get the sense that he's not respecting her because she's a woman, because his lawyer is a man. And when his lawyer speaks to him, he listens to him
Yeah.
and does what he says. But when this woman speaks to him,
he doesn't.
he's like,
He
oh, I don't
argues.
care.
Yeah,
Like, I'm going to argue against you because I don't think you're saying anything of value.
no, exactly.
Does she ever have a name?
I'm not sure.
I don't.
Maybe.
I don't know.
They might call her like Mrs. something or something like that, but Rashida Jones' character at the end, she's sort of like, she's mostly just listening in. She is portrayed as being kind of like seemingly interested in the case, like genuinely interested in the case, and she kind of
She
acts
seems
as,
interested
like-
in Mark too.
yeah, and she does.
Throughout the movie, she's like generally interested in what he has to say, and he kind of doesn't care about her at all. He like
Yeah.
brushes her off and is like,
And like she kind of almost feels bad for him in the sense of like the way you feel bad for someone where you're like, yeah, you did these horrible things and like it sucks that you ruined your relationships like this, like almost like knowing like, yeah, you did this and it's your fault, and like it really sucks for you that you did these things and now no one likes you.
yeah,
It's not like a feel bad for him and like a he did nothing wrong. It's like, no, you did all these things that are wrong, and it really sucks when like, you know, sorry, consequences of your actions, no one likes you anymore, and that does suck when no one likes you
yeah, and
anymore.
that does suck. It sucks
And
to
it's
be
like,
disliked.
and it's like, but you did that to yourself, kind of thing. And she's sort of the other character that, like Erica, is the one to sort of act as sort of like a conscience, or like give Zuckerberg some like insight on how he's portrayed and how people
Which
portray
is
him.
so interesting how the two characters in this film who like act as that are women.
Yeah,
There's not a single man in the movie who is like, Mark, this is why this is happening to you.
right. None of the men hold each other accountable
No,
in
they
this
don't
movie
at
in the
all.
sense of like their views. They hold each other accountable sometimes in the sense of like the monetary stuff and the technical things with like their ideas and Facebook. Like, they yell at each other about
in
that.
Eduardo's defense, he does occasionally be like, this is wrong and we shouldn't be doing it, but then he
Yes.
does still do it.
Yeah, he kind of still goes along with it regardless.
Because like even with Face Mash at the beginning, he was like, are you sure you should be doing this?
yeah,
Like, this is a bad idea. You shouldn't be doing this. And then Mark's like, no, I want to.
yeah,
And he's like, well, what am I going to say to that? And then
Yeah.
does anyway and does the whatever for them.
yeah. I also just remembered, I somehow forgot about this, but the way they do circle it back to Erica at the end. I know you didn't get to the end of the movie when you watched it earlier, but I'm pretty sure the last thing he does is send Erica a friend request on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he like almost like, and he hovers over it a lot, like he's not sure if he's
Yeah.
going to, and then he like does do it, and he kind of like smiles slightly to himself. And I want to say that she doesn't accept it. I don't remember, or unless it's just not shown if she accepts it or not. But for
I
some
think it's
reason, I
not
feel like
shown.
maybe in my head
I
I was
don't know,
just
I
like,
don't
no way
remember.
she's gonna accept that friend request. Like, I wouldn't
I wouldn't.
if that's how he
Well,
treated me.
I maybe would because he's rich now.
I maybe would to just see what he's up
Just see like
to.
what's happening.
Sometimes I am friends with people that I knew when I was younger that I no longer like, and people will be like, "Why are you still following them?" And I'm like, "Cause sometimes I just want to see what the hell they're up to." Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I just want to like
It's just like you're like
see what they're doing.
I'm interested.
Yeah, like I'm just like interested in like your life, but I feel like there was something I was going to say earlier, and I don't.
I do think it is so interesting how they only have female characters play like his conscious in this film, though.
Yes.
And also how these female characters only exist to play his conscious, because that's literally all they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, all Erica does is in the beginning, she's like, Mark, you're a bad person, and people don't like you because you're a bad person.
Yeah. Not because you're like some nerdy guy.
Yeah. And then the same thing happens with, what's her name?
Marilyn.
Mm-hmm. Same thing happens with her. She's like playing that role of like almost a motherly role.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's
Almost
getting
looking after
scolded.
him.
Yeah. Like he needs a woman to take care of him. Mind you, he's a grown ass man.
Yes.
So he like should be taking care of himself.
Yeah.
That's just so interesting. It's like, is this the only way that you can, especially for this movie that like is obviously trying to say something about the mistreatment of women, to have like their, dare I say, only relevant female characters play this role of like a mother for Mark,
Yeah.
rather than having any sort of merit of their own regard.
Yeah, because all the other girls in there are kind of just portrayed as like bimbo-esque.
Most of them aren't named.
Yeah,
like,
or it's like barely mentioned. Like, I'm sure Brenda Song's character has a name, but I honestly don't remember. What if I look up the cast of The Social Network real quick?
but I feel like there's something to be said. Like, if you can't remember her name,
I
like
can't
we're not
remember it.
forgetting Eduardo's name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. The girl that hooks up with Eduardo's name is Amelia Ritter. Brenda Song's character is Christy Ling, and Melise Zhao's character is Alice Cantwell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember that. Like, I vaguely remember Brenda Song's character being named Christy.
Yeah, I
But,
remember
like,
that too.
For some reason, I think she's also...
I think she's the most relevant.
She's the
of
most
them.
relevant of the, like, bimbo side character
Yeah.
girls. Like, she definitely is. She's there a little more. She's typically with Mark. She does speak a few times, I believe. He, like, almost sort of, like... From what I remember, he almost sort of pretends in a way that she's, like, more relevant than she is in the sense, like, of her being more active with,
Well,
like,
because
Facebook,
you can
but she's
tell
not
from this
really.
whole thing that what he's really after is companionship.
Yes, oh,
Like,
100%.
he wants a woman
Yeah.
to be there for him,
Yes.
to like stand by his side and protect him,
Yeah.
and be something that he can have to basically show off,
Yeah.
and also to like take care of him like a mother. He's looking for a mother. Like, he's creating all of these apps. Like, Facebook is created so that he can have that connection.
Yeah.
He wants to get into these social groups because it's companionship. It's friends.
He
it's
wants
people to
friends.
take care of him.
Yeah. One of the I don't remember if it was a poster. I think it was a poster for The Social Network. Is like the zoomed in like Jesse Eisenberg's face or whatever.
the
and
classic
it's-
one.
Yeah, and it says you don't get to 5 million friends without making a few enemies. Was
Yeah.
one of like the taglines.
And that
even sort
like,
of
I think that is the tagline.
I think
for
it
the movie.
is, yeah. And that's sort of like he wants friends. You
And
don't
that's,
get
like,
to
the whole
5
thing,
million
like-
friends. He thinks they're all his friends. Like, it's like he just wants all these friends, and he almost doesn't care that it's making some enemies because he
At
just
the end of the day,
tries
he'll
to
have 5 million friends.
Right. At the end of the day, he'll have money and 5 million friends in this thing that he created because he kind of thinks he's the smartest guy in the world.
And he thinks nothing can touch him.
Exactly. He thinks absolutely nothing that he's done wrong is really going to affect him at all because he's so arrogant where he, like, kind of thinks that he'll be able to, like, sway anyone with the way that he talks or, like, persuade them. Like, he just kind of is so arrogant and
He's so full of himself.
he's so full of himself,
Like,
and he thinks that he's on top of the world.
He's literally like the sun,
Yeah, basically.
and everybody else is like just stupid planets rotating around him.
Yeah, and he kind of thinks that no matter what people say about him or no matter what they try and do against him, that if he just sort of acts like he doesn't care and he brushes it off and is like, well, I did this, so I'm cool, that, like, there's going to be no consequences.
And like that's not. It actually gets to me. Like, sometimes I watch this movie and it like really like grates at me because I cannot stand an arrogant man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the way that he perceives himself and those around him is just like so. You need to like take a breath, dude, like, because like I like. And even the people that are like his friends, the way he treats his friends is so obvious that he perceives them as like, this is not about women, but like
Yeah.
perceives them as like beneath him.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell throughout the movie that he perceives everyone as beneath him.
Yeah.
And the only people who have any chance of standing as equals to him like are men. He will never see a woman as his equal.
Yeah.
And you can tell through the whole film because like Erica's just as smart as he is. And he's like dating her, and we don't know how long they've been dating. I wish we did. I
Yeah.
wish so much that we knew how long these two were dating, because how could she put up with that for so long?
It never says. I
No.
wonder if in real life it says it somewhere on the internet.
I wonder.
Like,
Probably, because I'm sure people were curious after the movie.
no, exactly. Like, I bet people had.
Also,
to
do you
have
think
looked
Mark
it up.
Zuckerberg like knew about this movie and knew that? Like, did he endorse this?
I don't know, because he has mentioned it, I'm pretty sure. Like, I feel like one time he literally made a comment of being like, I have to watch The Social Network or something like that. Like, along those
Because
lines.
it is a really good movie. Like, if I was him, I wouldn't necessarily be mad that this movie was made.
Right, because it is accurate. Like, you can, like, look at, like, some of, like, it's one of those movies where at the end it gives the facts of, like, this happened with the court case, and this is how it was settled,
Yeah.
and Eduardo got back this money, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it did all happen.
And it's like not even that bad of a representation of him ultimately at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about it as if it's this evil representation of Mark Zuckerberg.
Right.
But the movie doesn't actually portray him as that bad.
No, it portrays him as a college asshole douche.
Yeah. But even then, like, not even like a super bad college asshole douche.
No, like, not even in, like, the worst, like, in a worse
There's
way
so
it
many
could be.
worse college. And also at the end of the movie, like, it's almost like he's justified. Like, it really does kind of, like, I don't know the word that I'm looking for here, but it's like a soft padding for him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, well, he was young. Like, he makes
Yeah.
mistakes.
No, exactly. Oh my gosh, you know what's actually so interesting that almost adds another layer to this? His current wife, I can't find how long him and Erica Albright were together.
That's okay.
If that's, I mean, I think she
Maybe I'll
existed
reach
in
out
real
and
life.
ask him. She must.
She must have. But I don't know, maybe she didn't. But his current wife is Dr. Priscilla Chan, who is a pediatrician and philanthropist and co-founder of the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. And they met at Harvard around the same time, I believe. It, like, one of the things said 2003.
That's crazy.
And they have 3 daughters, and they've been married since 2012. So, like, she's not even, like, mentioned. Like, why is that? Why didn't they make that part of the
Why
movie?
didn't they put that in the movie then? That's so weird.
But she's, like, and she would have been, like, a
Well,
relevant female character.
She
if
would
they
have been.
had.
And also, like, now Mark Zuckerberg, like, he talks about his wife all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, she's so smart and, like,
Yeah.
so much, like, so interesting.
Yeah.
And,
And clearly she
It's-
is. She's, like, a pediatrician.
she is. She's, like,
who went
super
to
cool.
Harvard.
but, like, I guess it almost is, like, were they kind of portraying him worse in the movie than if he met his wife whilst at Harvard and now he's so good to her?
Yeah, I mean, there's always, I feel like, in a movie that's, unless it's a documentary or something, it is a movie that's a drama. There's always going to be some things that are a little exaggerated for the fact of, like, entertainment, like, for the sake of entertainment.
But I feel like that could have been interesting anyway to put his
Oh, it
wife
would
in
have
there.
been.
Like, I want to see Mark Zuckerberg's wife in the film.
Yeah. There was also, I found out earlier that there were, like, women who worked at Facebook. There were some who were like, oh, like, the first woman who, like, worked at Facebook and, like, was part of this, like, higher ups. That water bottle's so loud. The, like, higher ups at Facebook, like, there were some women who were part of it, and they aren't depicted in the movie, but some sources also say that that's because they didn't work for Facebook until, like, later than the movie goes. So
Yeah.
maybe they weren't, like, part of it
I
until
still
later
feel like-
on.
I don't know if I even necessarily believe that, though, because there's no way they had this whole company without a single woman in it.
Right, like, unless they purposely didn't.
Yeah. Which, like, is possible. But still, I feel like the movie doesn't do a good job at portraying women and, like, womanhood.
Yeah.
And, like, it definitely is trying to say something about being a woman
Yeah.
and, like, what it's like to be a woman, but I don't think it's doing a good job at that, which doesn't make it less of a good movie. Like, it's still a good movie. It's just not a feminist film.
No, exactly. Yeah, this says that well, granted, Google AI says, so maybe not all, no,
Yeah,
don't
that's
take
not-
that, don't take that as fact. But I have heard this woman's name before, though. Sheryl Sandberg, who joined as, like, chief operating officer in 2008. But this also says there was a woman who joined in 2005, or there were a couple women who joined in 2005, and that is, in fact, during
the movie.
So I guess there were women working at Facebook, but the only women that were talked about in the movie were, like, their arm candy hot women, which I understand, like, that the point of the movie was more focusing on, like, the boys group, like the college boys group, like,
Yeah,
what
and, like,
they
kind
had
of the
going
interpersonal
on.
issues between them.
Yeah, between them specifically. But it is just interesting. I just thought of another scene, actually, too. It is just interesting how we were talking about with Andrew Garfield coming to, like, the party that he, like, wasn't invited to and appearing in the rain and stuff. Like, there was that big party going on, and even during that, it's all just like, wow, there are these girls here. and,
Yeah.
like, blah,
Also,
blah, blah.
a lot of the perceptions, like, a lot of the framing in the film, talking like cinematographically, that is not a word, but like you get what I mean. Like of the movie, like in the beginning, especially when they're having these parties and they're playing face match and they're sending the link out and there's these guys at this party and this is the scene that they keep clipping to between like Mark Zuckerberg making this thing and these guys at this party, and at the party there's all of these girls in their underwear making out with other girls. And it's like, okay, so why are we seeing that though? How is that even necessary? Like, how is that relevant to what we're even learning about? Because they're not even playing the game. It's just these girls dancing around naked, making basically out. How is that relevant?
And that's like kind of the only thing that's like going
why do I have to see that while they're doing this? Like, I'm already seeing women get objectified with Mark doing this. Why do I also have to watch these women dance naked for these boys?
Right, yeah. And I forgot about this aspect. I just looked it up, but I'm pretty sure this was a thing. But wasn't there a part in one of the scenes where like the girls are like drinking and dancing and they're like offering them cocaine, and then doesn't it happen later where the cops show up and some of them are like, I'm 17? Like, aren't they underage?
I think so, probably.
Like, I feel like there was something that mentioned how they were like, a lot of them were probably like teenagers. So not only is it like, oh, women being portrayed as like it's only like partying in their underwear, it's like children.
Like, what are we like what genuinely okay, and I understand that this is something that happens in real life, but why do we have to see it right now? Like, if we could see it and it was like totally relevant, then that'd be fine. Like, kind of that's like more okay, because it's like, okay, they were partying with 17-year-olds. But when you're doing these scenes where it's like nothing's going on and you're just cutting between like them coding something in a bunch of hot women dancing, why are we doing that?
Yeah, because like, exactly.
I'm already getting the idea that these women are being objectified. Why do I need to see it?
Yeah, and it's sort of like you just said, like with it more being the latter. Like, I'm okay with seeing women in movies being objectified in the sense that it's like showing that it's wrong. Like, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like I'm okay with seeing it if it's relevant, but sometimes you can tell when it's not as relevant.
And a lot of the shots of like women naked in this movie like are obviously not relevant. Yeah, like it's obviously just there to be like, and now look at these hot girls.
Right, yeah, I think someone in an interview once said, like, when someone asked about, it might have been the Stephen Colbert episode, I'm not sure, but someone asked about women in movies and someone was like, oh, well, there's a lot of women to look at in the movie.
Yeah, and that's really true. Like, there's so many women to look at in this movie.
Yeah,
but they're not characters.
Right,
none of these women are characters. There's like 2.5 female characters in this movie.
And a half.
The lawyer.
Yeah. No, honestly. And yeah, and I almost wish that she was in it more, because she's not in it for all of the lawyer scenes, because it's not all during one court hearing. Like, sometimes they're in like a mediation room at a courthouse. Sometimes they're like in what looks like an office building and like stuff like that. So she's clearly more part of whatever that office building hearing toward the end is. But
she's
I
like
almost
somebody's actual lawyer, whereas he also has to talk to like a bunch of other people. But I
almost wish she was in it more. Like, I almost
agree.
wish she was in earlier court scenes.
I wish they had kept it with just one setting where they're talking about this almost. So then I can be like watching how that happens. And also, it is interesting that she's a woman, because then we're seeing like another female character, at least, that's like portrayed as intelligent.
Right.
And like knowing what's going on.
And she like asks him questions. Like in like the last scene, I'm pretty sure she's like, oh, did you really blah 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 or something. And he just, again, kind of nonchalant how he answers, is just like,
his answers are actually so annoying.
Like, yeah, I did this and blah blah. And he, like, she might offer him like lunch or ask if he's hungry. Like, she's being kind to him. She's like probably actually one of the only women being kind to him in the movie for the sake of like, that seems genuine. Yeah,
for the sake of being kind, rather than
sake of being kind,
trying to like get with him.
Right. And it's because like, yeah, I guess like Christy and Alice are like kind to them at like the party and in the few scenes we see them, but we don't see like genuine interactions as much. But we see Marilyn being like actually kind to him, where she just heard all this horrible stuff he did, and like I said earlier, like feels bad in the sense that he ruined this for himself, and like he did all these things that now make him so unlikable, but she's still trying to show him like compassion as a human being.
Yeah.
And no one has really done that. No, like, she's honestly one of the only people in the whole movie, besides Eduardo at some points, that show him really any kind of sympathy. And even most of the time Eduardo doesn't, because he's being like,
because he's being so cruel to him. Like, yeah. But then there's something to say about that, because what do you mean the only characters in this movie who are kind are women?
Yeah.
Do you think that kindness is a feminine trait?
Right.
Do you think that kindness and womanhood are equated in some way?
Or you're just showing the difference between this like bro college group that like don't really show genuine kindness to each other, and how like women, because I guess that is a societal thing of like a lot of, it goes into like a lot of male friend groups that like they don't show genuine kindness to each other because it's like pushed from a young age that is like a feminine thing, or like a like sappy don't do this kind of like thing. But then a lot of women friend groups stay like together longer because there is that kind. Genuine kindness,
because there's an emphasis on being like real friends and like talking your things out, whereas boys are just like, I don't know, I've actually never been a boy, so I guess I don't really know.
That's actually really funny. Like me and Veronica, my girlfriend, were just talking about like male friend groups versus female friend groups or something like that, like with that same topic of like how male friend groups are kind of told to interact with each other in a way where like they have different, like a lot of male friend groups almost last longer because they never hold each other accountable for anything. I'm pretty sure was kind of what the topic was about. So it's like a lot of female friend groups, I find a lot of times with like male friend groups, like if there is a problem within them, they'll never talk about it.
Exactly. So then they'll stay together longer because they're not actually addressing their conflict.
Yeah, they don't hold anyone, like, they don't hold each other accountable at all, so they're not ever addressing a conflict.
Female friend groups in a more like generalized sense, like obviously this doesn't apply to everyone.
No, yeah.
But like female friend groups would be more likely to fall apart because they're discovering that they're not compatible.
Right, and they're actually bringing up issues.
Probably helpful in the long run.
Yeah. Because you're actually communicating issues and like holding if you're in like a friend group that's, and again, like you just said, not every like friend group, but just typically how like societally it's taught, like a lot of like if you have a bunch of like women in this friend group and one of them does something that's like really wrong and like horrible, it's more likely that the other girls in that group are going to be like, no, what you did is wrong, like this thing was wrong, and like actually have a discussion about it, whereas like men would be like, oh well, he's our boy, so like whatever, and then it moves on and the topic is over,
and then it gets portrayed like throughout society as like women being fickle and not wanting to be friends with people and being hard to get along with,
right, and like causing issues
and having drama and girl gossip, when like at the end of the day it's like holding people accountable for their actions and being like, okay, you were kind of awful for this and I don't think we can be friends anymore,
right,
which is justified, like that's real.
It's like that thing where like the like not like other girls stereotype where it's like, oh, I don't get along with girls because girls are just like drama, I get along better with boys, and it's like, well, yeah, because they don't ever have drama because they don't like want to and don't care. It's more that they don't care.
I think it's that they don't care.
Yeah, I'd say more of that, or that they're like taught not to care, that it's more of just like a boys do this thing, like boys do these things and boys will be boys.
Yeah,
again, people couldn't see my air quotes there, but quote unquote boys will be boys. So then when these boys grow up in friend groups together, they're like putting that boys will be boys outlook on each other as well.
Yeah,
where they're like, oh well, my boy, my bro does this because boys will be boys.
And you see that so much in this movie too.
Yes,
like especially with Eduardo.
So boys will be boys.
It's so boys will be boys because like they're looking at these boys and they're doing awful things and they're like, well, that's my friend though. Exactly. Like that's my friend. And then you see like Erica and she's like, no, that's not okay, so I'm not going to go out with you anymore. And then she's portrayed as dramatic.
Yeah. And that's even why at the beginning, like going back to that quote, that's why she's like, no, like you're going to think your whole life that girls don't like you because of this. I need you to know it's because you're an awful person. Like I need you to know from the bottom, she says, from the bottom of my heart that it's because you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Because she knows that he's not going to think that, and she knows that none of his like douchey guy friends that he's like saying all these things about women with are like, none of them are going to tell him that. And
they're not. And they don't throughout the film. They don't say anything.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Half besides Eduardo in a way. But like that's even questionable. But even like any other guys, like there's other guys that are with him like in his dorm room while he's doing, there's like a scene where Eduardo comes in and it's like Mark and a couple other guys or whatever. And it's like those guys are probably having the same thought of like, girls aren't going to like us because we're nerds working on this computer thing, not because we're assholes.
And they're kind of right because they're not as assholey. Yeah. I mean, like,
by association.
But girls like nerds.
Exactly.
Is also like, at least now, maybe they didn't like nerds in the early 2000s.
Yeah, again, I guess it was the early 2000s. But like, I don't know.
Okay. In conclusion, though, do you think that this movie has a good portrayal of women?
Not as a whole.
No.
I think a couple women.
I think there are some highlights. Yes. I think Erica's really good. I wish she was more relevant. And I think what's Marilyn at the end is like fine. Yeah, not as good as Erica.
No, Erica's kind of the really good woman here.
Erica's like the standout. Yeah, you know, I keep like getting too close. Yeah, Erica's like the standout. So if you're going to watch this movie, don't watch it for the female characters. I mean, it's still a good movie.
Yes,
like it's definitely worth watching.
It's very entertaining. The score is amazing. Not
really
point,
good,
but a great score.
the funniest thing about this movie to me, though, about the score. Sorry, my bad.
Allergies are kicking our butts.
Yeah,
guys.
seriously. The funniest thing about the score of this movie is that in one of the trailers they have like this children's choir version of "Creep" by Radiohead, and I think that kind of sums up the whole film really well.
It does.
In like a way that I can't exactly articulate to you, but
because I don't know, it's just the fact that it's a children's choir. They're childish. I don't know.
I
You can
know,
go into that,
like, and they're singing "Creep" by Radiohead, the song about like
Yeah.
never having sex because you're a loser.
right. The like I don't know.
Like that's so funny.
Children singing this like kind of incel song.
Yeah,
For
and
lack of
Mark
a better
Zuckerberg
word.
really is like the original incel. Like,
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding?
but anyway, this film is not good for women.
No.
Bad women film.
Bad women
Great
film,
film,
but great
artistically.
Why I chose it. I really like the film. I
And
think
it's a lovely
entertaining.
film. And like not every, I mean like I would like it if every film had a good representation of women, because at the end of the day every film has a good representation of men.
Wow,
There's
that's
not
so
a man,
fair.
there's not a movie out there that portrays men poorly in the way that films often portray
yeah,
women
like
poorly.
even if the men are bad people in the film, it's like
They're still characters.
accurate to real life men and how like men are in society, whereas like there's barely any films that are accurate to how women function in society or how they're treated in society.
And like even in films where like the women are the forefront, like if you think about like Bottoms, which is like such like a woman centric
yeah,
film,
phenomenal movie.
even the boys in that movie like have names and are
Yes.
characters and
Yeah.
are real.
And granted, that movie's a little like purposely satire,
Yeah,
but like it even does go into that, like with what's his name? But the football guy,
Yeah, the
in
football guy.
Bottoms, who like gets served like steak and lobster at like in the cafeteria. And there's
or
a
if you think
mural on
about
the
like
wall.
Barbie and how Ken is there and he somehow became like the center of the film. And I don't like
Yeah.
Barbie. I think Barbie is a bad feminist film as
Yeah.
well.
I like Barbie. That's where we disagree. Not that I care that you don't like Barbie. But I think outside of the film itself, I think it's absurd that the point of it was to be a feminist film. However, like I'm Just Ken was what won everything.
Yeah, I think that's so awful.
It's like, why is the one like specific like supposed to be kind of like a joke like guy song was like the thing that like I get it's like a silly song, but I don't know, like something like I feel like other things could have.
I don't like that Billie Eilish song,
Like-
but I think it should have won.
I think it should have won
Like-
too. I like that song.
I had to sing it in Girls from the Hill, so it's like
Oh, fair. Memories.
it was bad.
You have like associations with it.
Okay, well anyway, conclusion, not a good feminist
Not a great
film.
feminist film,
But that's okay.
but a good film.
Good film. Oh, well, it's not okay, but it's like,
No, yeah.
you know,
Not a good portrayal, even if maybe it was like
it was
accurate
definitely
in real
trying
life.
to be a good portrayal too, which is kind of what makes it worse.
Yeah, because it's sort of like even if these women were this way in real life, we're still portraying them as these like, for lack of a better term, like slutty, like gold digger women. And even if that's what they were in real life, like why are we portraying that as, I don't know, being like the woman's fault and not the fact that the men were treating them bad in this situation? So I think for that, it makes it a bad portrayal of even that like
Yeah.
quote unquote type of woman.
Yes.
And then there's like one good woman character where she like tells it how it is and tells him he's an asshole and like
And then
does
she's like
stand up for
irrelevant
herself.
for the rest of the
Yeah,
film.
and then she comes up like maybe one other time, and then he friend requests her on Facebook at the end, and you don't see her
Yep.
at that either. Just he does that.
Okay. That's all. Thank you,
That's what we
podcast.
have. Bye bye.
Okay, I'm going to hit this and I hope it works.